I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
The Family Showdown! Hello, greetings, and welcome to a weekly top 10 list of greatness.
Well, the top 10s are every other week.
Shh.
All right, folks.
Our bi-weekly
So,
top 10 list.
some housekeeping.
We do housekeeping?
Some housekeeping before we get
Let's keep
started
some house.
with the list.
Okay.
We got new internet because
Y'all know.
Suddenlink must die. So we got new internet, so let us know. We need to know a few things. One, whether it's working. Two, what's the highest resolution you can get? Because I lowered the settings a little bit. And our sound looks a little low. Let us know if the sound's good or not.
Yep.
So let us know how things are going.
Yep.
Because this is new. Because Suddenlink, for whatever reason, around the time we do our show, they decide that our internet,
It's time to bottleneck.
yeah, it's like horrible. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't work at all. So
Good to see it's working.
So
That's a good one.
So we finally got a second option. Well, third option. AT&T was the first option. They're horrible in this area.
Yeah, in this area.
Second option, Suddenlink. They're horrible as well. We finally got a third option. We got Verizon 5G
Get your
home
tinfoil
internet.
hats out.
5G home internet, and it actually works.
So far, it's working really well.
So
It's not working. You can still see Hunter.
here's the dealio. Here's the dealio.
Right, troll?
I loaded up our streaming earlier today, and I wasn't obviously broadcasting, but I was doing everything but broadcasting. And it didn't drop a frame for 4 hours straight, which has never happened.
Time to drop a mic instead.
Has never happened with Suddenlink, ever.
Never.
So, let us know how things are. And all that stuff. You already got your first.
Yeah,
first hair
Tommy
comment.
noticed my hair.
So, just let us know. And let us know, I guess I can look after the fact, but let us know what the highest resolution you can get at. Because like I said, I lowered the settings in the effort so we don't buffer and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But without further ado, let's talk about what we're going to do tonight.
That's right.
So this list, we actually kind of pilfered, thuggeried, cut-pursed, skullduggery it from the Dice Tower. A while back, they did a top 10 games that they cooled on.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the discussion that promotes because
it's like why and all the different
it's kind of reverso, right? Because you always talk about the games you love and the games that you're loving more and stuff like that. This is kind of reverso. This is the ones we used to love and you don't love them so much anymore. So
honestly, I found this to be a really difficult list to make because I like to go back and replay stuff, and a lot of times it kind of reminds me of like, oh, I haven't played this in a while. I do really like this game, and so it like kind of temporarily brings it up a notch. So it was kind of hard to pick games that I'm like overall they've cooled. I don't know.
See, you put too much emotion into this. Mine is entirely
it was very clinical,
analytical, and spreadsheety.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what I ended up doing too. So for me, what I did is the ones that kind of shocked me that had kind of fallen off the list after we looked at the top 100.
So a few things. I would still play all these games. I didn't.
Oh, heck yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't pick games that I didn't like and then I hated.
Exactly. Me too. Same here. I would still, if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, let's play this," I wouldn't hesitate to say yes. But I'm not gonna. These are games that I probably nowadays would not be like, "Dude, let's play this."
Right. But these were all my list, at least. They were all in my top 30.
Hello, chat.
My top 30 at one time. Top 30 favorite games. Every one of these were in my top 30 at one time.
Probably mine too.
Most of them, well, not most of them, a good number of them aren't even on my check to see if it makes my top 100 list, which is
nowadays,
like 300 games they're on.
Yeah.
So they're not even in the top 300 games anymore. And they were in my top 30 at one time.
I could totally see that.
All right. Hoser, thank you. I appreciate it. That's exactly the information I needed to know. So,
yay!
Let us move on to the list of greatness.
Woot, woot.
Well, former greatness, I guess you could call it.
Number 10.
That sounds off. It's so weird.
Yeah, our sound's not on.
Our sound's not on.
We
I'm like,
can't hear
I
our cut
can't
scenes
hear
and stuff,
you.
but I assume you guys are hearing them, so, or you guys would have definitely told us. So, we
Let's
did.
roll.
We gotta get the Bim Bam Bum.
Oh, it's time for the Bim
I always
Bam
call,
Bum.
I always call it Bim Bam Bum, but it's actually Bim Bum Bam.
That doesn't flow as well.
No,
I like the Bim Bam Bum. That
All right.
sounds better.
Here we go.
We've renamed the game. It's official.
Here we go.
It's official.
Here we go. All right, cut it. All right.
Wow, they like stuck together.
Who is the? You want to do that one?
Sure. I don't care.
No, let's do that one. Who dances worse? Who dances worse? That would be me. I can't dance at all. I have no rhythm.
I was gonna say I can pick up moves.
You
cannot imitate.
I once
people.
went to a workout aerobics class, and I was just flailing around. I could not. At about 5 minutes, I just walked out the room. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. This is not. Someone shows me some dance moves, and I can't imitate them. So definitely me. So who's first?
You.
I'm first. All right, let's do it. My number 10. So my number 10. I got stats here. This was my number 3 game at one time.
It was
my
a
number 3 game at one time. It dropped down to my number 180 this year.
Wow.
That is Couriers.
No, okay.
Couriers.
This is spoilers. I believe I put this on my short list. Yes.
So Couriers. Yes. So I used to love Couriers, and we played this game a lot. Like, a lot.
And we collected a bunch of the dice, and
I think we got everything for Couriers.
Did we?
Yes, we have. We have everything for Couriers, and we played this one. This is like one of the first games that we kind of played when we got into the hobby. My good buddy Carl used to work at a board game store. This is one of the games he brought home. We have the 10, the original first edition of Couriers 10, sitting right over there.
Which actually appears in a Board Game Blender episode.
And this was actually Carl's game. He gave it to us. So we played this one so many times. Like this one's played so many times. And it's just something, we actually revisited this fairly recently, within the last year or so. We played it and we were kind of like,
yeah, it was within, it's since COVID hit. I know we played it again, but.
So Couriers.
Does that include Dice Masters, Tommy's asking? And that's a valid question.
It does not include Dice Masters. Does not include Dice Masters. They're separate games. They're very similar.
Okay.
But different, because the Couriers you can play with 2, 3, or 4 players.
True.
And you attack everyone kind of around the table. True. So it's the same concept, and you have the same pool of dice you're buying from. Whereas Dice Masters, I think you have your own set of. You have some common dice, but you have your own set of dice you're buying from. Couriers is kind of like Dominion. It's Dominion dice in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You're recruiting from the same pool of monsters or
funny that
characters.
You like it.
I don't. It dropped down to mine. It's still 180. It's not like it's like Gonzo.
It's in your top 200. That's insanely good.
It's still in my top, but it was my number 3. If you watch the very first video we ever uploaded to this channel, I think it was the first. First or second. We may have uploaded a Board Game Blender video first. It's my top 10 from 2015, and you'll see that Couriers
is on there.
Was number 3.
It's true.
All right, what you got?
My number 10 is Shadows over Camelot. Now, I don't know how high this was on like a top 100 thing, but this was one of those that was like for a long time played a bunch, whether it was here at home with our group or whether it was at conventions and stuff. And I think, again, if someone asked me to play, I would definitely play. But for given the time that it takes to play it and the actions and stuff that you do, I'd rather play like Fury of Dracula or something. I mean, yes, it's obvious who the traitor is in something like Fury of Dracula, but I feel like it's much more engaging the whole time that you're sitting there for the amount of time that you're playing versus like, oh, I guess I'll play this card. Oh, a bad thing happens. Oh, I have to get a straight. I don't know. It feels so passive to me in a lot of ways. And I don't know. I'm not as crazy about those kinds of games as other members of my family are either. So I like it. It's not that, but there's so many other games out there that I feel like for the amount of time that it takes to play that game, there's some that are just so much more engaging, and I'd rather play those.
Yeah, this game could very well have made my list. It's just never been at the tippy top because the whole cooperative thing.
And
it does have a hidden traitor potential, and you can always play.
That can be funny. Yeah, it's a potential hidden traitor, and as we've discussed, like in the distant past, we've discussed games where we didn't have one, but we thought we had a trader,
Right.
and how everyone is on pins and needles like the whole game.
Right.
And it's funny, but at the same time, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. And I do enjoy trader games. You guys know that. I mean, Deception Murder in Hong Kong is like one of my favorite games. Like, it's my most played game or darn close to it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not that, but it's just the theme's kind of meh to me, and the card play, it's fun to do as a lark.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those that's I'm going to be hitting
you
all
get
the
the
time
right
anymore.
crowd, it can be fun.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah.
Almost any game can be fun with the right crowd.
Oh,
right?
heck yeah.
So, yep, like I said, this one
True.
could have made my list, but it was never way up my list. So
Yeah.
it just didn't make my criteria
Yep.
that I used to do these games.
Yep.
Number 9.
They're making fun of how I say trader. Sounds like I say
Traitor?
trader.
Oh,
instead of
trader.
Traitor.
That's just the Texas. one.
Traitor?
He's
It's
all
a Texan
Texan.
drawl. Traitor. All right.
Traitor.
My number 9
He is funny.
is not Dice Master.
That would be hilarious.
My number
After
9 is going to make Rebecca cry because it is
Dominion.
Castles of Mad Goodwin.
Well, I understand why. This is not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's lighter.
It was my number
it's
8.
my cup of tea.
Back in 2015. It was on, if you watch that video I mentioned, number 8. It's dropped all the way down to 206 from
Still,
8.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, almost all of
That's
these
not a heavy
I would
game.
readily play, but not as readily as some other games.
Yeah.
No, Castle. This one, I think we got kind of burned out on it because this was our
we played it
this
a
was our
lot.
every game day
This
for a
one came
while.
out.
We played this one, and sometimes twice.
Because yes,
It was just like play. It was Rebecca's like favorite.
I freaking love this game, and I will still play it all the time. So don't worry, I have not cooled on
And
this.
it was
Megan's
one of
Yeah,
her
she and I would
super
play it like
favorite
all the time. We would
games.
just. That's probably why we ended up playing it twice.
So the husbands were like, we'll suffer through and let these play their favorite game.
Aren't they?
But yeah, it's a good game. I enjoy it, but it just gets really samey. I mean, for me anyway, it's like do an auction, get a tile. Do an auction, get a tile. Do an auction, get a tile. Do an auction, get a tile.
Yeah, but the auctioning can be fun and it's kind of mind gamey and I don't know, there's just something about taking the goofy, and this doesn't do it for you as much. I enjoy making a completely unique house every single time, and I like tweaking all the little rooms and making combos and stuff. And I really enjoy that. That's like my shtick, and it's not yours.
Yeah.
That's not a mechanism.
I like games that ramp up and have big moments, but it's like
But this one doesn't like that.
You're doing
It's pretty
the
steady.
last round of the game.
Yeah.
You're doing exactly the same thing. You were doing. You make
True.
more. You have more combos of how the buildings land,
True.
but you're not. There's no
It's true.
ebb and flow to the game.
It's true.
It's very much.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep, it's true.
I do enjoy the auction mechanism and the way the active player decides what the tiles are going
Sets
to
the
go
prices.
for, right?
That's so good, yeah.
So if there's a tile I really want, it's like, do I make it really expensive so that no one takes it? But then I have to pay a lot for it. Or maybe no one wants it and I'll make it cheap, but then Rebecca takes it and I cry.
And that happens the exact same way, except in reverse on our turn. Like, I'll set the stuff, and then Hunter takes the piece I want.
Well, we're going to get to
We're not gonna get-
revisit this shortly because the Collector's Deluxeified, whatever you want to call it, version is on the boat in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
I will swim out to meet it.
We just got an email today letter.
A letter by a carrier pigeon.
As I transport back to the 70s. I just got an email.
That's how bad our internet's been, guys.
Just got an email
That's
today that said it's on a boat. Our
I'm on a
super
boat.
collector. We didn't get the giant version. That's a little outrageous, but we got the collector's version.
Aw.
Because Rebecca still loves this game. It's
do,
one of
actually.
her super favorites. So
We could have that, and then giant throw burrito, and that giant takanoko, and my life would be complete. I'm just saying. I
Okay.
don't think there'd fit anything in the house after that, but yeah.
What's your number 9?
Oh, my number 9. Yes. This will not make Hunter sad. Trivial Pursuit in all its forms.
This could very well be on my list, but again, it's never been at the top of my list. I got burned out on this because my family used to play it, and I hated playing with my family.
That I would understand.
They liked it, and I hated it because it was painful.
There's some people you just shouldn't play Trivial Pursuit with.
When you're giving people hints on the answers, Yeah. Hi, if my family's watching.
I doubt they're watching. No, and I think that's not my reason. I didn't have, I had competition. It wasn't that really, but it's just that it's been played to death and no one wants to play it with me.
I'll still play this game.
Yeah, we do occasionally. You and I
still play though.
Well,
I'll throw down some Trivial Pursuit.
that's true. Now you and I will still throw down, especially the Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit edition. That's amazing, and we should almost do that sometime because we have like mad verbal battles over that. So, hey, now don't talk smack about Trivial Pursuit Rainwater. I hear you. No, Hunter's the same way. He's like, eh. But I loved playing it. I grew up playing it, and
I got
played it
burned out on
many
this at
times,
home, and then I
and-
got back into it in college, and then I got burned out on it again.
that's the
and
thing.
then-
It's so easy to do because you play it so much, and it, like you said, it's very samey. It's a roll and move, you know.
Yeah.
And if you
And
get
it's
some
very,
crummy dice,
very
it's
luck-based.
insanely lucky.
Very
In fact, a
luck-based.
typical game for us is Hunter will get really, really far ahead, almost win the game, and then he just gets a whole slew of gets a whole slew of terrible dice rolls. I catch up to him, and then it's neck and neck to the end, and then
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot who actually wins. I just summed up almost every single game of Trivial Pursuit that we've ever had.
And then the last question ends up, I get like, name in alphabetical order all the stars of the 1952 movie, and then she gets,
What's the third planet from the sun?
yeah, and I'm like,
It never fails. It's amazing.
the range of the questions are just
But that's
obnoxiously.
part of the fun. You
Oh
don't
my
know what you're
gosh.
gonna get. So I mean, it kind of became more of an activity and less using the board and just throwing down questions and talking smack. And it came to that, and I'm fine with that. And then, but I mean, except for us playing occasionally, it's just not. No one's.
I agree. I agree with this, but like I
trivia.
said, it doesn't meet my
So it's
criteria.
cool because I can't just get crazy with it anymore because again, you and I are the only ones that would probably play. My parents might play, but I don't know. I don't know how interested they even are anymore. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Number 8.
My number 8 was my number 18 in 2015. It dropped down to 251. Used to be one of our go-to 2-player games, but we haven't played this in years and years and years, and that is Jaipur. When's the last time we played Jaipur? Oh, she brought the receipts, as they say.
I have the receipts.
I bet it's been at least 4 years. 4 years. Calling 4 years, folks. 4 years.
Might have been 4 years.
How long? When's the last time we played, sweetie?
November 4th, 2018.
Almost 4 years. Not quite. Pretty close to 4 years.
Garbage.
Yeah.
You're
So
wrong. It was 3 years and change. I'm right.
anyway, this used to be our go-to 2-player. We played
It
this
was.
and played this and
We
played this and played this and played this and played this
And then we played it some more.
and played it and played it and played it. It's a great, light, quick, easy to teach 2-player game, but I like a little more meat on my taco or burrito or whatever you want to say it. There gotta be more
Throw
going on.
burrito?
Throw burrito. There's got to be more going on, and this one's just set collection. It's like take cards and I don't know.
Our mics mute when we get too loud.
Do they?
Nice.
Do they? I thought I turned that setting off, but that's probably good. Except I'll be muted half the show though if I get too
That's good,
excited.
you're
'Cause I get
obnoxious.
excited. Anyway, we used to love this
It's
game.
fine.
It just doesn't get to the table anymore. It's been collecting dust for years, and I mean, if we're gonna play a 2-player game, we're gonna play Targi. We're gonna play something a little more meaty than Jaipur. So there you go,
A
Jaipur.
little more meat in your curry.
There you go. I don't like curry though. All right.
goodness.
What you got?
People are talking about Wits and Wagers as an alternative to
Yeah,
Trivial
oh,
Pursuit.
yeah,
And I see that. I get kind of on the gambling and stuff. To me, they're very different games because Trivial Pursuit, you have to know the answer. You know, you're relying on your own reading, useless knowledge, garbage all over the place. But all right, let's see here. So
I
we're
like
on
the gambling part.
Yeah. Oh no, I do too. I have to be in the mood for it.
You don't
though,
have to
but-
worry about rolling a 3 and then a 7. and then
Exactly,
6
exactly.
and 4
I like
and
it as a
3.
group and stuff. Individuals, not as much as the group ones, oddly enough. So we're on number 8, and my number 8 is, this may
Jaipur.
shock some people, no, Stone Age. Stone Age.
Interesting
So,
choice.
Yeah, and this kind of made me sad when I looked at it and I was like, yeah, because, I mean, again, I will, if anyone just says, hey, let's play Stone Age, I will gladly play it. I love the game. But it's not one of those where I'm like, I'll play this solo. I still love this game. I've played it so much and introduced so many people to board gaming using this one now that it's kind of, it's finally starting to wear down on me a little bit. I've played the snot out of this game. It's so easy to teach, and you guys know I'm not super crazy about teaching the rules to board games. And it's a really fun, smooth game. It's great to teach people worker placement and resource management and all that kind of stuff and basic Euro gamey goodness. And so I used it for everything. But there's a lot other games now too that do similar things or more and this and that it's kind of faded a little bit. And there you go. So I still, again, if someone wanted to play this, I wouldn't hesitate to say yes. I still like the game
I
a
would
lot.
hesitate to say yes.
You would hesitate to say yes because you're like, nah. But it's
I
just
would hesitate
not.
to say yes.
It's not that go-to game that it used
I'm like,
to be.
have you seen this other worker placement game? Like any of the 300 other worker placement games we have? That's what I would say.
Can't imagine. Can't imagine. You were doing that before.
Maybe. I used to like this game. Not so much anymore.
Number 7.
All right, my number 7.
Oh,
Let's look at the stats here. This used to be my number 30 in 2016.
wow. Okay.
It dropped all the way down to 292, which is the very bottom
Ooh,
of the games I actually look at to consider
Ooh.
for my.
that's not good.
This is about 300-ish games.
So you hate this game?
You could say that maybe.
Wow.
And that is Mystic Vale.
Why'd you look at me?
Because you still love this
I might
game.
just love the.
And you know what? Whatever nail wasn't in the coffin of Mystic Vale, Dead Reckoning slammed the last nail into that coffin.
That makes perfect sense.
because
Explain why to the people that don't
oh,
know
because
about.
Mystic Vale is it's a deck building game, but you build your deck by crafting your cards. So you start off with like 20 crappy cards. Some of them are even blank, and you add little insert things into your cards, and you make them better as time goes by. So you keep the same 20 card deck, so your deck doesn't grow. Like in most deck building games, you start off with like 10 cards, and you end up with 100 cards. This one you have 20 cards the whole time, but they get better and better and better. You can decide to make some cards really cool, or you can spread the love among all your cards, however you want to do it. But you'll see a theme on a lot of these games on my list. It's super samey because it's buy a card.
No, but I like that. I love Dominion,
card.
and this is like a cool twist on Dominion for me.
Huh?
So this is like a cool twist on Dominion for me, and you know I will play Dominion until
It is. I mean, this
the
is
cows come home,
I'm not berating.
which is incredibly samey. No, I know. I like that kind of samey. I don't know why,
I don't like.
but that's so
I
not.
like
get
I like
that.
some build up, some
Yeah.
some tension,
That makes
something
perfect
going
sense.
on. Like
Yep.
I like games where you're like getting like a resource or two,
Yeah.
and then at the end you're like, I got 50 resources. I'm gonna
Yep.
do all these cool
Nope,
things.
that makes perfect
This
sense.
is buy a card. Buy a card. I mean that's it, yeah. So I mean I think you like the calmness, the zen-ness of the
I do.
of the
You're right.
of the doing
You're
the
right.
same thing and that sort of thing. I like tension and drama and
I got
battle
you.
and fighting and
Hmm.
doing cool stuff.
Oh, that's interesting, Nathan. Good as an app. I have never played it as an app.
I bet you can knock out Mystic Vale in like 5 minutes on an app.
Well, that might take some of the fun out of it. Then part of the fun for me is
Buy a
like,
card.
I'm gonna build in this card.
card.
Like you said, it's a very zen experience. for
I
me,
like the
guess.
press your luck part of it, but
Yeah.
you really don't. I almost never press my luck because
Which is shocking coming from you.
because you get nothing. If you bust, you get nothing. So you don't ever want to bust.
Michael's
Same
playing
reason I
that
don't
one.
like quacks is you get a little bit, I guess, when
Yeah.
you bust in quacks, but you bust, you get nothing. So you just go until you're about to bust, and then you buy a card.
Okay.
But I understand you like games like that.
So, okay, I saw some of you guys just kind of to reverse a little bit, talking about the expansion to Stone Age with the anniversary edition and stuff. What all did that change or add? I'm curious. because
We never got the style is the goal. They changed it to the they changed it to the Stone Age, the expansion, but it used to be called the style is the goal.
I know, when I was
like
that was a terrible title, and it just.
So I think you get jewelry, right? It's another resource that you can do things with. I think it's a wild resource. I may be remembering. I've never played it. I just heard about it.
I was just curious because everyone's saying, I think Paul or somebody was saying it kind of freshened it up a little bit, and I can see that. Maybe that's part of it because we just stuck with the base game. So.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Love Letter.
Oh, sad times.
Especially Love Letter. Well, I shouldn't say especially. That's not true. But in particular, I'm thinking about right now Love Letter Hobbit. Love Letter Hobbit is my favorite of all the love letters, by far. But also because of this, we have played this and played this and played this.
And funny enough, in my view, it's the same level as it always been. It hasn't gone anywhere. I like it. I mean, I never loved it, but I don't dislike it or like it less anymore. I mean, I would play it just as readily as I would.
As you would have then?
Yeah. It's just there.
Well, I think part of it is there's so many really small games now that I could take with me to go throw down cards with people that I don't feel it's that much like in its own little category by itself anymore. Because for a while that was the granddaddy of the micro games and stuff, really. And it was so easy because you just put it in a sack. But there's so many little games we have over on our shelf of the little games that I could just throw into a little baggie.
Right.
And do the same thing with. And
I think the reason is we only play this 2-player, and it's probably better.
That's the other thing. As I was going to say,
better with more players.
It is more fun to play with more players.
Yeah.
But I haven't had occasion to do that in quite a while, and it might be something that if we did play it again, more multiplayer, that'll kind of spice it up again, which is fun. And it's not like I would ever turn it down. And I love fiddling with the little Arkenstones that you have in this game. It's ridiculously adorable. But there's just something about it being not a go-to as much as it used to be because it's not our only highly portable game. And so it's faded a little bit. And again, I would totally play this. It's greatness. So Coraloo, let me see. You have a store called Half Price Books. Does it live up to its name? Oh, yes. As a platinum member of that bookstore, I can attest it is quite good. I can tell you more about that later.
Such as that.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Number 6.
All right. Number 6. Let's look at that.
Number 6.
My number 6 was my lucky number 13 back in 2015. It's dropped all the way down to 288.
Wow. Okay.
Our version's called Rampage.
Oh.
But most people know it as Terror in Maple City. Yeah. This used to be one of our go-to family games.
Wow, yep.
I don't remember the last time we played this one either. It's been...
This one's been a while.
3 years, maybe? 4 years?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it was the Munchkins, when they were smaller, really got into this game big time. Like, oh my gosh, the cackling and giggling and everything else when we're flinging meeples and monsters at each other and knocking each other off, or mommy misses and then I knocked over mommy or you, depending on who's the target of the day. The parents always get attacked. You know how that goes. It just added so much like spice and stuff, and now it's like, oh, that setup.
And it's funny that I think let me hold on. Let me double check before I speak out of school.
What's up?
Yeah, it's officially been relegated to the hallway. The games that might go away / kids games. It's been relegated to that hallway, which means it's not long for this world.
It's possible.
And it is the Rampage cover, so that's like collector's edition. I'll get hundreds of dollars for it. I'm sure.
Right.
But anyway, this one just got played out. It just got
we played it so
much.
It
ran its course, and it's just
it's
I don't ever see it hitting the table unless someone specifically requests us to play it.
I got to look at my plays. Tommy says he thinks that we all played it.
Did we?
I'm gonna look and see.
I bet it was years ago.
Then
I'm calling 3 years, 2 months, and 7 days.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Okay. It was, not as long ago as I thought. November 2019.
3 years. No, not quite 3 years. Oh, well. I was close.
You tried. You
I was
tried.
close. Almost 3 years. Rounding up. Round up 3 years. Yeah. What's your number? What number are we on? 6. What's
We
your
are
6?
on number 6. My number 6, this one's a more obscure thing unless you've been watching us since way back. But my number 6 is Among the Stars. When we first started, this was crazy high on my list. I was just getting into the space genre of the board games and stuff, and we started getting more space games and stuff, and it was crazy high on my list. I loved it. It was the first time really getting into those games where you, again, kind of like Castles of Mad King Ludwig, where you put things matters, and you can get bonuses off of them, and you have this sprawling space station when you're done and stuff, and I love that. However, we played it a lot, and then Fields of Green came along.
Can't see it.
Or
actually,
whichever.
No, that's our.
But
you can
I
see
got
it.
to play Fields of
Right
Green
over there.
afterwards. I don't know which one came first, like
Field of Green is a re-theming of Among the Stars.
Among the Stars. And for whatever reason, I really liked the farming theme better. I liked the way the game worked a little bit better.
It had more resources, it had more
It added
interaction,
more-
it had superpowers, it had a lot of different
It
things
just
going
tweaked
on.
it. And even though I absolutely adore the space like theme, just like the way that other game played better. And then now we have like a whole section of space games too. So it doesn't even hit on the like space genre fan list as much as it did before. So it's like it's kind of started slowly sneaking into the background.
It's gone, right? We get rid of it.
No, it's here, I believe.
No, we got rid of it.
Did we?
It's gone.
Oh, wow.
And Tommy might have even took our copy.
Wow, that's
I just knocked something
shocking.
down.
Yeah, it's just the thingy.
Ah,
The little-
breaking my table.
You are breaking your table. So,
Yeah, this one's gone. This one's gonzo because you basically said Fields of Green replaced it. So we got rid of
new
it.
troll in your hot take saying farming is better than sci-fi. Ban troll.
Could be. Could be.
No, Tommy did not, he says. I wonder, yeah, I don't know. But
We got rid of it. It's gonzo. Bye. Bye, Among the Stars. Gone forever.
gone forever.
Number 5.
All right, number 5. Let's look at number 5. This was mentioned earlier.
What is it?
It was mentioned earlier. This one actually dropped less than the previous number. But, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a game. You keep talking.
This one dropped less than my previous number, so I kind of broke my rule of how far they dropped is where they were ranked. But this used to be my number 2 game of all time. Number 2. 2. I don't know which way I'm supposed to do that. I apologize, too.
This way, sweetie.
This way?
This
Okay.
way.
Number 2 of all times in 2015. So you can watch that video. You need to watch that video because almost all the games in that video are on this list. That is Dice Masters.
You did put it on the list.
I did put it on
You troll. You.
No, I said it. No, they said that it included Dice Masters. I specifically said it did not. Warriors does not include Dice Masters. Yeah, this used to be my number 2 game. We played this one
How it has fallen.
so much, and I have so much stuff for it. I don't have all the stuff, not even close, but I have almost the entire D&D set, which is what since this picture right here is. It's the D&D set. I almost have that entire set, and I have tons of other dice as well.
Right.
So we played this one to death.
We did.
I mean, this was like a.
Well, it's
we-
even had a revival.
We'd sit down and play it 2 or 3 times. And then we played a ton when it was just the Marvel and Avengers and stuff like that. Then the D&D stuff came out, and that was a whole new thing. We played that tons and tons and tons. And then we actually played this a couple years ago, I want to say, and we're like, meh. So
It's fun to like. We pulled it out not too horribly long ago and had fun with it, but again, it's not one of those we're going to be like, yeah, let's make a day of it and go crazy like we've done before.
I mean, I
right?
would, like I said, I wouldn't turn down a play of this. I like it, but it's just not my style of game. I mean, I played very different games when we back, 7, 8.
That's true. That's so true,
I guess
too.
this would have been 7 years
That's
ago.
so true.
We played a lot more luck-based games. We played a lot more low strategy games. I mean, this one there's not much strategy other than what dice you buy, and then you just roll and hope for the best, right? I mean, there is some strategy on what you attack and not attack,
Right.
but you can literally grab a handful of really powerful dice and roll a bunch of garbage and not get anything.
Well, and I think for me, like the superheroes ones,
Avengers
the
and-
Avengers and stuff. I didn't like that nearly as much as I was hoping to. The D&D one I loved.
Because you can level up your characters and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
the D&D one was amazing, but it seemed like there was just so much to keep track of, and everybody was kind of did this or that with the Avengers, and it was kind of janky to me. So, let's see. While I'm thinking, Tommy, Fields of Green is 2 to 4 players. There's no solo mode.
No, it's not solo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I didn't
then,
see that. I would have answered that.
Yeah, and then
Nathan asked about Dune Imperium. Yes.
heck yeah.
In fact, if you can't see, but I got my World Series of board games
he's got his games right there,
right
off
here. You can
screen.
see the top of Splendor right here. So I got Splendor, Dominant Species, Raw, and Dune Imperium all here.
I even let him whoop
I
me several
definitely need to
times.
practice. And in fact,
Splendor.
I got one of those letters from the
Carrier pigeon.
from the World Series of board games saying it's 100 days
Is it really?
until it starts.
Oh, that seems so soon.
100 days until the World Series of board gaming starts. So I got to get busy because I haven't.
Right.
Splendor's the only thing I practice. I haven't practiced any of the other ones. So yeah, I'll definitely play Dune Imperium.
Heck yeah.
Anytime, anywhere, anyway,
Woo!
any day.
Let's go. Ooh, Cora Lou, yes, Best Treehouse is a great game. Love that one. Oh, one other thing, Zeris mentioned Imperial Settlers. That's a great one for a cool down because yes, Empires of the North is so much better.
And we like 51st State better. as
Yeah,
well.
51st State and Empires of the North are a lot more solid than that.
But
that
again,
probably
for
should've
me,
been on my
it
list,
didn't
too.
make my list because it.
You never were as
I'm
super
never
crazy about it like
super
I
crazy
was.
about Imperial
That's true.
Settlers.
That's
Anyway,
true. That's more of a me thing. But I would add that as my 11.
what's your number 5?
My number 5, and you've cooled on it enough in general that I don't think you'd be sad too much anymore.
I'm ready to be sad.
Blood Rage.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I still love the game.
I
That's
do
why
too,
it's not
but
on my
mostly
list. So
we play it 2-player lately. And most of the time that I've gotten a chance to play it has been 2-player, and it's not best at 2-player.
no.
In fact, I would take and play Ankh any day. And I love Blood Rage. It's still really fun to play, and if someone asked me, I wouldn't hesitate. It's not that, it's just that
3 and 4 is where it's
3 and
at.
4 is where it's at, and we just, for whatever, you somehow end up getting roped into those games, and somehow, I guess I'm usually with kids at that point.
For
or-
whatever reason,
however, the timing always works out that
for
I'm
whatever
not.
reason, it seems to have been the conventions I've gone to where Sam and Z, where they're not that like the big conventions, the smaller ones.
Uh-huh.
This is like their opening convention thing, and you always show up
I'm
late.
late. That's what it is. I missed it somehow, right?
Yeah.
And so I haven't played it multiplayer in forever, and so I'm like, it's cool. I'd rather play Ankh.
Yeah.
It just would.
Yeah, this will not
So-
hit the table unless we have more than just us.
Yeah.
There's no reason when we can pull
Yeah.
Ankh off and it's superior.
It
And
is.
it feels similar enough to scratch the same itch, but it plays much better 2-player. I like it. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Good one.
Sad though.
It is sad. Gotta find the button. There we go.
Number 4.
Number 4, we're getting into the craziness. So this is officially the first one that doesn't even make my consider list for my top 100 anymore.
Uh-oh.
It's dropped completely out of consideration, which means it's below an 8 now. Because I only do 8s and higher. I may start doing 9s and higher because I have over 100 9s now. But it doesn't even make an 8 or higher. So it doesn't, that's my cutoff point. So it doesn't even make my list. But way back in 2015, it was my number 22 game. And it was already mentioned
Was it?
previously, of course,
Really?
by Rebecca, because
Me?
it's the only person that could have mentioned it.
No.
And that is Stone Age. Yeah, this one's like
We played it.
I am almost donezo. Did it make the hallway? It's in the hallway.
It's in the hallway now.
It's in the hallway. That's the hallway of tears.
The hallway of tears. Listen, there's some games in there we're gonna have some words about then.
Well, in the hallway is
In the hallway.
kids games that we still play some of the big bulky games like Pitch Car and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the potential Cully ones.
Oh.
Stone Age may be on the outsies, unless the little child wishes to continue playing it, then it'll stay.
Yes.
Otherwise, it is out, so it's
That
gone.
one I am stealing for the board game group.
Take it.
I will.
Get it out of here. I don't like it anymore. It's
Can't believe
fine.
I
I would
heard
play
that.
Stone Age. If someone came up to me and said, Hunter, will you please play Stone Age with me? I'd be like,
Please do that.
I'd be like, of course. On the inside, I'd be like, oh man.
Wow. Wow. Put him on the spot, guys. Put him on the spot.
Oh man.
The hallway of meh.
No, that's a hallway of meh minus is what that hallway is.
Wow.
What's your number 4?
Wow.
Since we already beat Stone Age up, we don't need to beat it up anymore.
Wow.
That I already just did.
My number 4 is Power Grid. Why are you acting shocked? You would.
I still love Power Grid.
I do
We
too.
never get to play it.
Well, here's the thing. I thought we found something about it that, that kind of broke.
It's flawed 2 players. I completely forgot about that. Power Grid is flawed 2 players.
We found a flaw, and ever since then, I'm kind of like, I can't
There is
get it.
such a flaw. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. The way we play Power Grid is flawed 2 players because it's like whoever gets ahead is going to win.
Straight up. It's almost like a Monopoly problem.
There's
no catching that
you need
person.
that third person to beat up on. You need that triangle of power.
Yes.
So you need 2 people to beat up on that one person, or that one person is just gonna run away with it.
I could see that.
I think that's the flaw we found. Runaway leader issues with 2 players.
It was.
It's not really designed to be 2 players because it works 2 players, but it's an auction game. It's a bidding game. It's
Well, it's kind of funny because, again, this is one of those games for the longest time. This was my number 1 of, I shouldn't even like this game.
Right.
Because it's like this heavy economy, mathy. You have to sit there and figure out and dole out your money, how you're going to spend it in each stage of the turn throughout the round or whatever. And I should hate that. I've gotten much word to where I like heavier games and stuff like that now, but I liked this from the start.
Oh, I'd love
which
to. I
is
actually want to play
something
this.
it's not in my wheelhouse. That's fine. You can play with somebody else. So I'm just...
I want to play this with like 5 players.
No, I agree. Because
we've never played it. I think the most we've played it with is 3 or 4.
I think
Maybe 4.
it's been so long.
But yeah, we've never played this at the higher player counts, which makes I assume will make the auctioning much more interesting.
I think it would. It would make it a little more interesting. It'd spread it out a little bit. For us, it's just this crazy like race. And I loved that until we kind of figured out that whoever got ahead is just automatically pretty much going to win. Because unless somebody makes a crazy mistake, which we really don't do that with that game anymore.
You can't block people off. It's hard to block people from areas of the board. It's hard to outbid people. It's hard to take, like if I'm really using one resource, she doesn't have enough money to corner the market on that resource and punish me for having one resource.
Right.
Because if there's 3 players, then there's 2 people that can work together to
like go and
it's like it's like most games that you need one person can't slow another person down without hurting themselves. So they're effectively slowing themselves down to slow them
which
down.
Doesn't do any good.
But if 2 people kind of contribute to slowing that person down, then they both can kind of raise themselves up. Yep. And you see what TJ wrote?
Will you please play Stone Age with me?
Oh man.
You're right. See, Zeros agrees with us about that. And yeah, the theme is weird. You wouldn't think that would be very exciting, but somehow it was just kind of fun to play. And Zeros wants to play Power Grid now in between turns of Mega Civ. There you go. That's how we play this game now. Okay. It's the mini game.
I tell you, I'm still saying, find the geographic center of our location. I'll bring 4 people. You bring 4 people, and we'll play Mega Civ all day, one day in a hotel lobby somewhere.
That sounds absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right.
Number 3.
All right, number 3. Let's see what we got going here. Again, these are people. These are one that dropped off out of consideration from my top 100 at this point. So, this one is. I think it's got a new version that just came out. Am I crazy? Maybe there's a new version.
You're definitely crazy, but I don't know about.
That is Jamaica.
Oh yeah, I did get a new version. Oh, that's right. That was like one of your faves.
That was one of my faves.
Wow. Yeah.
And I even like the expansion for it. A lot of people don't like the expansion.
I enjoyed
the expansion. It's just
that was fun. I enjoyed it. We played it out. Like
I said, it's a common theme. A lot of these games were this was our go-to game. We played every game day for a while, and it just got old. And it seems like it's easy to pick on someone in this. to intentionally kind of beat up someone. So
Yeah.
and I don't know. The other thing I don't like about it is winning the race. I know the new version fixes this, but basically whoever wins the race, if you win it by enough, it really doesn't matter how much gold the next person gets because you're probably going to win. It is a racing game. The winner of the race probably should win, but if you just kind of go movement, and get there like way ahead of everyone else, where everybody else is blowing each other up and trying to collect gold and stuff, and you just run out really far ahead,
Yeah.
you can win.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I think the new version
Do they kind of
it
that
makes
a little?
having gold more valuable than it does in the game that we played.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I recall they fixed it where winning the race wasn't almost an auto win.
Okay.
So
That's interesting.
I think maybe.
Hey, Hemi. Hey, you still made it, Hemi. That counts. Oh, to Kaido. Yeah, I could see that. A lot of people. I'm surprised our family's not burnt out on that. To be
Yeah.
honest, as
They-
much
they-
as
they
the kids
keep
love that,
they keep
I
playing
still-
that.
That game has some kind of magical power.
But again, that's another one I never super loved.
But because they like it so much, right? Yeah,
Yep.
it's true.
Number
It's true.
3, what you got?
Number 3, this is probably not going to come to a surprise, but it has probably one of the largest downfalls of any of the games on my list, and that's
Oh.
Merchants and Marauders.
Oh, poor merchants.
I
Poor
think I
merchants,
liked
lovers.
this game more than Hunter, which is crazy because you loved this
Yeah,
game.
but Western Legends and Zaya killed
Western
this game.
Legends, Zaya, and now
Dead
Dead Reckoning. We
kinda-
have a pirate themed
kinda
game that
killed
has
this.
the Mystic Veil card crafting mechanism in it. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then, yeah, and now I'm like, the setup for this, the reteach, there's like 27 expansions to this. And don't get me wrong, we like almost all of them and they're amazing, but it is just so much to wade through that for the effort you put in to play this game now and get the enjoyment out of it, we could play like 2 Zayas.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of sad. I kind of feel it's like, oh, it's now just almost pure nostalgia because I don't know if I'd want to go through that to play it. It's like it's really a tough call for that. There's a lot of fun with it because you get, you know, you make enemies of the different countries and then you can't go to ports and stuff. And I still found it hilarious because I still recall, I believe you could only go to your home port at one point because you were shooting everybody.
That's what you gotta do.
And yeah, you turn to a life of crime. And, you know, and then you're dodging all of the storms that are like floating around in the sea and stuff. And there's this and that. There's crew morale to worry about. And
Why does that say
crazy
data?
Who, what?
What does that say? No data. Oh, okay. Hopefully that was a blip. Anyway, yeah, I agree with
Scared
you.
me.
I agree with you.
But it's,
there's several flaws. There's several flaws in this game.
Yep.
And this one probably should have made my list. It just hasn't plummeted yet. I think next year it's going to be off. If it isn't already off my top 100, I think it may be already off, but it's going to drop a lot because it's enjoyable. It's a lot of nostalgia in this game, but the whole when someone goes to port, they can have like a laundry list of things they can do, and you can start your turn. You can. It's not in the rules. It's not in the rules, but you can kind of let the next person. But let's say I start my turn, and then Rebecca goes, "I'm buying a gun, and I'm going to improve my weapon here, and I'm going to do this."
And you missed that.
And I'm like,
and then you're in trouble.
I'm right outside the port now. I should have known. So you almost have to wait to make sure to see what that person's gonna do. Maybe they buy all the goods, and then the goods are all different. That's gonna be there. You're like, oh well, I was gonna go there to get X, Y, and Z, and it's not there anymore. So you literally have to wait. So Rebecca could literally spend 15 minutes doing port actions, and I just sit here and wait.
At one point,
I just sit here and wait and go.
Yeah, the downtime is crazy for this game.
And then the thing is, she does that. And then I do some stuff, and I go into port, and then I spend 10 minutes in the port. So then the next person has waited 25 minutes just for port actions.
Yeah.
It's almost half an hour. I mean, you literally can sell goods, you can trade, you can upgrade your ship, you can recruit guys, you can do this, you can do rumors, you can do all sorts of stuff, and you just go do all that stuff, and the other person's just kind of waiting. If you play this 4 players.
Oh man, yeah, it's a day event.
And another flaw in the game is if you don't use a variant, a merchant can go port to port to port to port, and you never get a chance to attack them. You literally, they're never out to sea, and you cannot attack them.
It might have happened once to where we had to.
There's a variant though that
Yeah,
if
that
they
keeps you
pass by
from
your
it
ship,
because-
you can get an
Yeah.
action. But that's a
Yeah.
variant. And last time we played this, we played, I think Tommy and me and Carl, I think, played, my best friend Carl. We played, and I forgot about that variant. And by halfway through the game, I was mad because Tommy was just staying in the ports, and I'm like, I'm going to destroy you if you're ever outside of port. And he was never outside of port. I'm like, oh my gosh! And so I wrote a note: do not forget the cutthroat variant, like in big
We have
letters.
some of the best notes in our board games now.
Do not forget the cutthroat variant. So yeah,
It's hilarious.
I can see this one. This one. If we made this list a little bit later on, I probably would have said yes.
Mm.
I haven't really thought in my head about where it
lands now.
this one lands now, but pretty low.
Which stinks because I still like nostalgia wise and everything. I love the experience of this game. I've loved it. So I'm glad that there's games that do it better. But part of me, just because we had such amazing memories of playing this game,
Yeah, I mean, but
it's really hard.
I think this may be weird to say, but when we were playing this game quite a bit, our tolerance for this style of game was higher.
That's true too.
Because you
That's
think about older
true.
games, you think about like Axis and Allies and some of these older war style
That's true.
games. They take forever to play, like literally forever to play, and there's long turns and lots of downtime, and that's just was more acceptable. Now, more modern games, it's like we're doing stuff on the same turn, we're doing simultaneous things. You do an action, I can react and do a different action. There's all this. It's not you take a turn, the next person takes a turn. Most games now, there's interaction between that.
Yeah.
And in Merchant Marauders, you do your entire turn, and I'm waiting. The next person does their entire turn, and I'm waiting. The next person, I mean, there's nothing unless I get attacked. I'm doing absolutely nothing. During all of his turn. And in a 4-player game, if your people are really doing a lot and doing a lot of their actions and doing a lot of trading stuff, it could be 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. That's 45 minutes before it gets around to me.
That's for one round. Yeah,
it's just not. I mean, that's
hard.
That's going to be the rare case, right? It's not everyone's going to.
No.
Not everyone's going to be in port and doing a ton of things. But it could happen.
Yeah, that could happen.
And yeah.
So I think in the modern parlance, as they say, this would not age well.
No.
Because we just don't, in general, tolerate that kind of stuff. But again, at the time, this was the first, and for a long time, like only sandbox game that we really knew about that was really good. And then, like you said, Western Legends and all that came out. For me, Dead Reckoning, I think has probably
Dead Reckoning killed this. I don't know how much I would play.
Well, I think you were starting to say that when Western Legends came
Western
out,
Legends
too, for you
pretty much killed it, and then now we got a pirate themed. It's not as sandboxy as this one, but it kind of scratches the same itch. But yeah, so that's the game that kind of kills it. Yeah, this one could very well make my list. I'm gonna call it my number 11. All right, where are we at? Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. So number 2 was my number 12 in 2015.
Ooh.
And it's gone because this one may have been our most played game for 2 or 3 years running. And now we haven't played it in forever for very somber reasons. And that is Coup.
Oh.
So we were introduced to this game by a friend of ours way back. I don't know when it was. Gosh, 2009 or 10 we got introduced to this game.
Yeah.
It was his favorite game. He taught it to us and was so happy to teach it to us. And we played this and played this and played this and played this and played this. We would play this
every game day.
Every game day we played it like 5 or 6 times every game day. And we played it and played it and played it and played it. And my friend unfortunately passed away from cancer, and we haven't played it.
We really haven't played it much since. We played it a few times.
We played it here and there since, but we haven't really. It was kind of like that was
Rob's game.
Yeah, that was our
was
experience with him, and so it kind of. I mean, I would still play this game. I still enjoy this game. It's super quick, super easy. It's a great introductory to social deduction. It's funny. It's laugh out loud moments. It's bluffing.
Everyone's the Duke.
It's great. But there's so many other games I would play over this. The only thing this has going for it is how fast it is, because you literally can play a game of this in like 5 minutes. with 7 or 8 people. You can play it. It's super fast. It zips around the table. People are getting knocked out and laughing and craziness. But yeah, this one just doesn't hit the table. But what's funny is we got the expansion for it and we've never played it.
We've never played the expansion because we loved playing the base game so much.
We've never played the expansion.
Yeah.
So you have a role and you're doing actions. You're basically collecting tokens. Eventually, you get enough tokens, you can coup someone, which means you kill one of their characters.
Yeah.
You have 2 characters in front of them. One of the characters die. You can try to assassinate them, but they can try to bluff
You can block some of
and block
that
it and things
stuff
like that. But when you get enough to get a coup, you just kill them, and then basically whoever has a character left, last person standing wins the game. So there's not much to it. Easy to teach. It's not everyone's game because not everyone's good at bluffing because it's a straight up bluffing game. But it's okay.
But it's fun. I was gonna say, and with the right group, it's amazing. Again, I'm not super great at bluffing, but I had a ball with this game because if nothing else, it's all about the smack talk and stuff, right? You know, and
it's almost for people who have been gaming for a long time, modern games. It's almost in the lexicon of gaming. Because I was walking through a hotel.
Yes.
It wasn't even. I wasn't even at a convention. I was just at a random hotel I don't remember what I was there for. Anyway, I was at a hotel and I was walking through the lobby and the group of kids were playing coup. And I walked by and I said, I'm the Duke, and they all went, oh. I didn't even pause. I was, I'm the Duke, and just kept walking. So it's
one of those games now, yeah, and I love that about it. But yeah,
not so much.
Yeah, I got that.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Genericus Pandemicus. Generic Pandemic. We played it to death, and especially I feel like, especially after playing the 2 legacy games and the prequel legacy, Generic Pandemic doesn't do it. I want Fall of Rome or Iberia or something that's got a twist to it. Again, I don't think I could play. I mean, if someone asked me to, I could, but I'm not going to be super excited about it because the plain Pandemic just doesn't engage me anymore. It's just there. I don't know. How many of you feel that way? Is that one of those things that you've cooled on too? I like the twists. I like the cure because it's still dice and manipulating that and messing with it. But that to me is a different game, and it's just it's a totally different game to me. It's not quite the same, but just generic Pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, looking at our shelf, we have 4 versions of Pandemic. We have generic Pandemic, Pandemic the Cure, Pandemic Iberia, and Pandemic Fall of Rome. It would be my 4th choice.
Oh, easily.
Of all those.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep.
I can see that. But again, this Pandemic's never been high up on my list. I don't think it's ever been in my top 100. So.
Yeah, see, I loved it.
I didn't pick games that I was like this on and then they went down. I picked games I was like this on and they went way down.
I enjoyed Pandemic a lot because it was one of those first really big, engaging co-ops, you know,
right,
that we got into, and it was huge and everybody knew about it and everybody played it and this and that. And this was when we were fairly new into getting into the games and stuff when that got really big. And no, it's just now I want the twists with it. I need something else.
Yep.
Yeah, see, like, okay, playing the app. I could see that probably. That's not for me, but again, you know, we played it so much and it's just, okay, I want the legacy experience from it again or something.
Right.
I want something else.
Or a new version,
new
tricked up version or something.
A tricked up version. I haven't played the one with the water, the flooding one. I
played it once.
Did you?
I didn't like it at all.
Didn't like it much? Okay. That's the only one I hadn't played that I was like, I always forget what it's called. Rising Tide? Is it Rising Tides?
I think.
That sounds right. It's something Tides, I'm pretty sure. But I was like, yeah, Rising Tide. Thank you, Troll. So that's the only one I hadn't tried, but I was like, well, I really like Fall of Rome. I really like Iberia.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yep.
So
I don't disagree with that choice.
again, somebody asks, I will play it, but I'd much rather be like, wouldn't you rather play Iberia? You can add trains, you know, something. So yeah, Horrified is the new Pandemic. I got that. That makes perfect sense, Hannah. Totally.
Let's see. Number 1 time.
Oh.
You wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think you guessed mine in a million years.
That sounds like clickbait. Number 1 will amaze you.
Number 1. No one will guess my number 1.
number 1?
My number 1 was my number 11 in 2015.
In 2015,
And
11.
it is not even considered anymore. And in fact, I don't know why we haven't culled this because we haven't. You might want. I know we haven't played this one in 4 years, for a fact, guaranteed.
Now I want to look it up.
My number 1 is Elysium.
Really?
Yeah. So this one we used to love this game, but
Yes.
I have zero interest in playing this game again. Literally zero interest. How long?
September 28th, 2019. So there.
I keep forgetting we had the resolution to play all our games one year.
We played so many games in
forgot about that.
2019.
It's all these all these are
games.
2019 because I forgot we went through almost our
We
whole
played
collection in
so
2019. We
many
played
games.
like 300 different games or something like that in 2019. But Elysium, I have no interest in playing this game. I don't hate it. I'm just done with it because we played and played and
We
played.
did play it a
We
lot.
played this one a lot.
And it doesn't have that kind of zing that just keeps bringing it back
It's
to it.
very
It's just-
samey.
it's-
That's a
Mhm.
lot of things on my list is
It's
we
because
played
it-
them to death and they're very samey.
Tommy, don't tell him that's almost 4 years. That does not count. He said at least 4 years. Okay.
It's close. Anyway, no, it's almost 3 years, not quite 3 years. September, it's not quite 3 years yet.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Math.
yeah, I keep forgetting we played all our games one year. All right, so Elysium, it's a good game. It's a kind of a card drafting, tableau building game, and it's got a cool mechanism where when you draft the card, you put them kind of at the top of your tableau, and you get superpowers. But at some point, you have to kind of cull them from there and move them down into the Elysium, and
Just say Elysium.
the Elysium,
No, not
a Elysium.
That's like saying
to the Elysium, to an Elysium. So you move them to the Elysium and Elysium,
just to Elysium.
and they score you points. So you get set collection down here. So basically, you have to choose when do I get rid of my superpower and add it to my set collection. And that's the kind of the gimmick. And then it's got some how you draft, and you have like you only draft certain colors and things like that. But we played this so much. I mean, when we first got this game, it was Rebecca's like, woo, geek out game, and we played it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then I'm just,
Yeah, we really
I have
haven't
no
gone
interest.
back to.
I have no interest in revisiting this game.
Really? Like you're just so cool. You're like,
That's why it's
It's
number
dead.
1. I have,
wow.
because I was going through these games and I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll be perfectly fine never playing Elysium again.
Wow.
Sorry. You have to phone a friend.
Hey guys.
I mean, there's so many more tableau building, set collection, card drafting games that I'd want above that. I mean, even and that isn't even really my jam. Is that tableau building thing? I mean, I do like games like Terraforming Mars. I mean, there's so many Terraforming Mars now. Arc Nova. There's so many more card drafting ish, set collecting type games, and with symbols and things like that. That there's no reason.
Right.
It's dead.
Yep.
Elysium's dead to me. Get it?
Underworld.
You get it?
I
You
got it.
get it? That there.
That's prime terrible
Is
jokes.
that Greek? Elysium's Greek? Greek? Is it Latin or is it Greek or
The
Roman?
Elysian Fields is Roman.
Roman. That's a Roman joke for you there.
There you go. Good job.
Elysium's dead to me. That's funny.
Oh,
That's funny.
man. Oh, we're back.
What's your number 1?
My number 1, I picked not because I would never play it again like you did, I like that, but it was probably the most shocking to me to realize that I had cooled on it.
Yeah, this one makes me angry. It makes me hangry.
Angry? You're hungry now?
I am a little hungry. This one makes me sad. I mean, a little like the last.
We're gonna watch for it. We're gonna watch
last
for it.
little tear.
Little tear.
Yes.
Okay. It's Star Trek Ascendancy. Okay,
This is an amazing game.
it is,
I
but
still love this game so much.
I don't know why. I'm trying to like.
I just remember one year. I don't remember what. I think it was 2 years ago. It went from like your number 5 to your like number 150. I'm like,
I don't know why, because I love fleet captains, like freaking love it, and I love maybe we just need a good play of it. I don't know. looking at it and the teach and the like setup, and
So here's
I'm just
what
like,
here's what we're gonna do.
I don't know.
We're gonna play it this year because it's on our resolution list.
Yes.
We're gonna play the board expansion, which we've never played.
See, I think that might help. I think that, and it is long. You know what, Joker? I think that's part of it. I think it's possible.
It's long. It's very attacky. There's not much other to do than attack.
Attack at
I mean,
some
there's
point.
some
And I
exploring,
think
but eventually it's just fighting
you
and
have
fighting
to
and
fight,
fighting.
Like you can't. It doesn't feel as viable a thing. And I came pretty close. I have done the exploration and the other
Stay away
methods
from people as long as you
stay
can.
away. And I have done that, and I was fairly successful at it. But at the same time, if somebody gets a better start, I'm nuked. I don't even have a chance to do that. And I don't still know. It's so much more attacky than I anticipated it. Because I feel like with fleet captains,
And it's dice attacky too.
it is, and you guys know how I am about dice attacky. No bueno. So fleet captains, it is viable to go on different missions and to do a completely different route and to go
You do
peaceful
combat
or
in
to
that
do.
game, but it's deterministic combat.
It is, and I don't mind that, and I enjoy the combat in that, and it's got stealth and it's got this and that. I love some of the mechanisms in Ascendancy. I love the warp tunnels. I love that concept. I love the way you build out the galaxy as you explore it. But
We'll try it again, 2 players, which
Yeah.
we've never done,
Which
with
is-
the board.
that's true.
We've never done it that way.
That's true. I think
And you're
that'll
gonna
help.
love it again.
Yep. Yep. Troll! Bitter that the Ewoks expansion never came out. You're lucky that he can't put technical difficulties on you right now, because that's... Is it similar to Zaya?
No.
It's close... No. Fleet Captains would be closer to Zaya in my book.
Yeah.
Um,
Zaya's different because Zaya,
It's very sandbox.
it's
Completely sandbox.
Ascendancy's kind of pulled back
It's the Star
because
Trek
you don't
universe.
you're not building up your ships. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. It's more exploring tech and straight up fighting. Whereas Zaya, it's all about the micro of your little ship. You're building up your ship. You're getting better engines and better weapons, and you're doing the exploring stuff and doing missions and things. But it's really ship centric. You have one ship, and you're.
And this is... And Star Trek Ascendancy's fleet centric.
Yeah, you're
It's very much
rolling
a
around with
fleet.
like 5, 6, 7 ships and fighting in these big epic battles. And Zaya's one-on-one fights and things
Right.
like that.
Who said it's what's better than TI4? Oh, that's a load. You like Tommy. I didn't read his hot take. You like Ascendancy better than TI4? See, I like Star Trek better than
close for
the
me,
group,
but
but
not-
ooh, TI4, man.
Oh my. All right, folks. That is it for tonight.
All the hot takes.
That is it for tonight.
So I want to know, like, did you have similar reasons for the games that cooled for you? I'm curious, like, what was some of the main reasons that games cooled for you? While you're writing that in there and like explaining like why things cooled for you, I wanted to give a quick little half-price books chat for Corlew. So I don't know. There was one, Zaris, you mentioned some bookstore that you liked, like half-price books. I didn't recognize the name, so I don't think we have those around here. But half-price books here, we've got a lot of different branches. And here we have twice a year, they do this giant warehouse sale where it's like all the books are $3 and less. And it's just in this giant warehouse, and it's insane and it's awesome. And they put all their overstocked books there, and you can go and shop, and it's a dangerous
Comes back with a
place.
trunk full of
books. I might have done that once or twice. But I've gotten better. I've come back, but it's really good. And the bookstore is half price. Like all of their hardbacks and stuff like that are half price. And then they've got a pretty decent sized clearance section. And they've also got board games and
Movies
records and movies and
toys and miscellaneous
oh
junk
yeah,
and
yeah. They always have stuffed animals and things.
It's a whole bunch of junk.
But they also have new books. They
But
have,
it's half price.
that's okay. Don't listen to him. You're terrible. But no, they do have a lot of new stuff too, and they have like journals and stationery and
Junk.
some new editions of books that come out and stuff like that. They also do collectors, like rare collectibles and rare collectors editions of books and stuff like that. So they're great. But we have a ton of branches here, and it's very, very active in the community and this and that. So yeah, like Zaris got games. We found a couple of board games there before
We got
too.
probably the biggest one we got was Trains. We don't have it anymore, but that was like big back in the day.
That I know, and it was just there, and they did not know what it was worth.
Yeah, we got it for like $10.
Yeah,
and
so-
shrink. And
yeah.
it was it was a new game.
Brand spanking new.
It wasn't like an old game.
So it's kind of fun to scope it out because a lot of times, for board games, they don't know a lot about board games in there. A lot of times they just kind of slap a rando price on them, and it's great. So if you know how to go and digging and stuff, who did I go with once? Oh, I might have been going with Megan once, and we found a game that they were wanting that was in shrink, kind of the same situation, and it was just mint condition, of course. So it's fantastic. So that's Half Price Books, and they're online too. They have I haven't played as much with it online because they're local, but they do order from other stores and this and that too. So
all right.
good times.
So a few housekeeping things.
Yes.
Number one, no drop frames the whole night. That's
What's
hasn't happened. That's haven't happened in literally years. So we got brand new internet. Hopefully this will be a thing that continues, that we can have a stable internet. And if
Live
that's
plays
true-
are coming that much closer.
If that's true, then we may be able to start doing like live plays and
Yes.
things like that. So cross your fingers.
I want to so
I still want
bad.
to tweak our audio a little bit, get a little bit better, but the internet,
Second.
because we're it's the magic. It's like magic now. So it's like we're in the 21st century now, because our internet is a little cube. It sits right over there.
It's like a little Borg cube.
a little- it's a little
so
cube.
creepy.
It has no buttons. You
Probably
just
walking
plug it
and
in,
listening in on
and the
everything.
internet magic happens. So basically, the same 5G you have on your phone
Is
it's,
what's
fa-
powering.
it's fast enough to run internet now. So our basically our internet in our house is the 5G from.
Can I just take a moment, because I'm thinking about when I was in high school. That is sorcery.
It is.
That is
sorcery.
sorcery, man.
It
You were
is.
lucky to have a
Yeah, so
dial-up and you listened to that modem, and it was AOL, and it took full 2 minutes to load.
Yeah. So
This is cool.
So it's apparently that like the internet you use on your phone is fast enough to run the internet in your house. That's literally all
that's
it is.
crazy.
All our little board cube over there does is it turns it into a signal that your computer can recognize. It takes the
Sorcery.
phone signal and turns it into a Wi-Fi signal. That's all that box does.
Amazing.
So anyway,
Amazing.
so hopefully we won't have any issues anymore. I mean, we kind of fine tweaked the settings, but if someone says it's running at 1080, then I don't need to tweak it very much. So next week, 1 week from tonight, we're gonna do our variety show where we do a variety of things. That's gonna be the 28th of June.
I'm stoked.
We'll talk about the Nathan in our chat. We
Woohoo!
met up at Dubs and had a
Little game session.
little gaming
game
session. We'll talk about
Let's
that.
go.
We'll talk about the games we played. We've played a lot of games.
We have.
We actually played.
We actually have.
We actually have some games to
Oh,
talk
you
about.
wait.
And
Wait.
we'll be talking about Dice Tower Con, because the week after that, July 5th, is Dice Tower. We'll be gone. There's no show. We'll be in Dice Tower Con doing Dice Tower Con-y things. Conny things? That sounds funny. It's like carny things, like carnies. Anyway, conny things.
This took a turn. Just
And then the week
where's the technical difficulty?
And then the week after that, July 12th, we'll recap Dice Tower.
Parquet.
We'll recap Dice Tower.
Maybe
Con
by
for
then
you.
we'll have some live.
But there will be a week off, and we'll remind you next show.
Hopefully.
And that's all we got. That's all we got. And next week we may do Shaky Cam.
We need to, because we now
looking
can,
at
we
our
actually
board
can.
game organization.
We
My
actually can.
my very strategically vague, somewhat organized board game sections, where I got like
That was oddly specific.
farming games, and then space games, and economic games, and that sort of thing. We'll show off the collection. And Rebecca can laugh at misplaced games. There's a couple games I put intentionally the kind of
Why do you troll me like that?
kind
You
of the
punk.
category, but not
You
the category.
Punk. Oh man.
That's it
It's
for the
on.
show.
It's on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Y'all are
Hopefully,
amazing. So fun to chat with you tonight. This was great.
this no lagging, dropping, buffering thing is a thing.
We're
of the
moving on
past.
up, baby. It's going to happen.
So let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.